Hi everyone, this is my tarot oracle spread that I use with wax divination, and I have a lady who's asked me for guidance from spirit and for a love reading, and she wants to see what the wax has to say. So the cards, and I've obviously got her permission to do this video reading and post it so other people can see. So the two decks I'm using is the Enchanted Map and the Fairy Oracle that I have here. I have my crystals on my table that I use when I do these particular readings, and the clear quartz is just to help me focus and gather my thoughts and see more intuitively. And then I have a rose quartz because the question she asked is in regards to love. And then I have my little bowl here that I do my wax divination in, and I've sprinkled some starlight powder which is selenite, which is water dissolvable, but it helps me see things more intuitively. It brings that energy to the water that I'll need when I connect and do the divination with the wax. And then I've got my candle that I use for wax divination. As you can see, it's been used a bit. So I'm just going to focus on yourself, lovely. Name's Emily. Just leave that to settle. So this card is a 2-card reading, and we get a message from spirit and we get a message about your love life. So you've asked me to connect to your grandmother in spirit. See what she has to say. We've got rise above problems. Okay, and those 3 ones come out. So we've got raise above problems from your grandmother, and what she's saying is that she knows that you're having problems at the moment with a certain someone, and she's saying that sometimes when we take a step back and we look at them, they're not always as big as they seem. Now, your grandmother was and is a lovely spirit, and I can see her playing with the beads of a necklace on her jumper, and she's pointing to your grandpa, or an older man who's also passed on, and she's saying to me that she had problems and issues, but they dealt with it together step by step. They didn't always see eye to eye, and they didn't always agree with each other, but the love was there, and they worked through issues that they had. And sometimes it was a case of one of them had to back down from the other, or it was a case of they had to kind of take a step back, take a deep breath, and then work through it. So that's the message from your grandma. I'm just having a look here. Right, I know what that's saying, and I'll get to that just now. To me, when I first looked at it, it looks like a palm tree, and I instantly got the message that for this wax divination, you need to take a break, you need to take a vacation, you need to get away from troubles, you need to just take that time out. Now, if it's because of money issues or because of the time of the year, you just can't take that vacation that you want, what I would say to you is just take a time out, give yourself a time out, give yourself a little break once in a while. Maybe try self-meditation, try just taking a time out, having a nice relaxing bath, going to friends, chilling out. Just give yourself that time away to rise above your problems. And sometimes as well, when you do that, you look at it from a different angle. So that's what Spirit's trying to say. Now, the 3 cards that I drew for yourself for your love reading is you've got Coming to Life, the Bone Collector, and Encouragement. Now, because of what Spirit's had to say and the way that these cards are laying out, is it's saying that you've been through difficult times before and you've worked through them, you've got through it, you've dealt with it, and you found, like the butterfly who's at the bottom here rising up, you have kind of you've grown, you've learned, you've got through it, you've hit hell. It's made you a stronger couple, and sometimes that's what we need to remember, is how strong we are together. And sometimes as well, unfortunately, when we're that close to someone, or when we're with someone all the time, like you are in a relationship, you tend to take each other for granted. So I get the feeling that Coming to Life means that you've had these problems, issues before, not maybe this specific problem, but you have had things coming and going and things happening, or you've had life just gets in the way. And this is saying that you've come back from that, you've learned, you've dealt with it, and you've moved on, and it's made you stronger. And the Bone Collector here says, don't hold on to the past. Don't keep hold of old fragments. Don't keep reflecting back on the past. Move forward, because the past is behind. And the fact that it's talking about the Bone Collector is saying that you're collecting these issues, you're keeping hold of them, and then you're worrying about them and going through them and working through it, and it's making you worse. It's playing on your mind. It's something that when you look back on this in the future, you'll probably be like, why was I so focused on that? Why did that worry me so much? So this is kind of a warning to you. It's saying that think about it, but don't hold on to it. Stop collecting it and release it. Let it go, because you have worked through it, but it keeps coming back. So that is your kind of warning. And then you've got Encouragement. And as you can see, it's a giraffe, and it's a mummy giraffe giving the baby a love, and the baby's accepting it, but at first it's kind of wary. It's kind of like, what do you want? Why are you sticking your nose in my face? And I'd say for me that you've had this encouragement before, you've been told these kind of words before, or you've kind of understand and know that sometimes you make a mountain out of a molehill, or sometimes old past hurts come back to haunt you, and you might not necessarily have worked through them as much as you should. And this is saying that don't be accept the encouragement that you're getting. And I see from here that you've got quite a good partner who will try and encourage you, will give you that love and attention that you need, but sometimes you're quite standoffish with them. You sometimes think he's got an alternative motive. Sorry. So I would say to you that you've got the encouragement, and just accept it, and believe that the big message from these cards is that it's kind of things that you're dragging up, that you're you're not releasing. So the big relationship spread, the relationship spread that you've had says that it's you need to kind of work on that and let it go. And you do have the encouragement, you do have people standing by you, you have your grandmother spirit who's giving you advice, that she's been through issues and she's worked through them. And you know, sometimes I can see her, she's laughing. Sometimes we do have problems, but we've got to rise above them. And with you, you need that encouragement, but you have it. You're very, very lucky. You've got that kind of support system that is 100% behind you. Okay, so overall, you've had quite a strong message, and the wax divination definitely said to me that you need to kind of take a break and relax. And it might actually be a case of the break that you do take may be something where you maybe do some chords, chord releasing, or you do some spiritual work, or you do some cleansing on past emotions. Because sometimes when we work through things like that, it's amazing what we bring up that we don't know we're holding on to. I've done a few and they're very, very powerful. If that's completely out of your league, then I would say that try to give yourself a mini vacation at home. Try to give that self the relaxation that you want, especially around this time of the year as well, because we can be very overwhelmed with everything that's going on around us. Just give yourself that break that you so desperately need at this moment. Okay, lovely. Now, I want to thank you, Emily, for letting me show this reading to other people, and I will post this to you as soon as possible. Many blessings.